So if you are not where you want to be, it's because you have not become who you need to become. And to become who you need to become, you need to figure out who you truly are and then improve what needs to be improved. All right, so right now let's head into this video. So to figure out what you actually need to improve, you need to first of all figure out who you are. So my question to you now is, who are you? Yes, I want you to answer the question of who are you? Not who others say you are, and not what your circumstances dictate, but who you truly are at its core, who your inner child actually is. Because the truth about it is that if you do not understand your identity, you will always live below your potentials. And many mistakes I see people do is by defining themselves by their profession or their possession or what they have achieved in the past. What I'm asking is, so if they take away your doctor license, does that mean that you have no identity anymore? That is why I said you have to look beyond all of those things and figure out who you are. So personally, for me, it took me a very long time to figure out who I am. To be honest, I had to embark on a self-discovery journey. Now, what is a self-discovery journey? So just as the name implies, a self-discovery journey is a journey you go on to get to find out who you really are. It's more like taking on a solo trip or going on a solo trip. Away from work, away from distractions, away from friends, away from social media. You embark on this journey so that you can get to find out who you really are. And these are the things I reflected on that helped me figure out what I needed to improve as well as find out who I am. So let's head to the first thing I reflected on. Why you are going on this trip is because you need some time alone, because you're going to reflect a lot more about the past than the present. So you do not need to stay in the present anymore. I know that sounds weird, but that's the truth. So this is what I did when I started this journey. The first thing I did was to pray, because I'm a Christian. I needed to pray and ask the Holy Spirit to open up my memory bank to reveal the things he needed me to figure out about who I am. I think I also fasted, more like a retreat. So I had to embark on this journey and I asked the Holy Spirit. I prayed for long hours and I asked him to open up my ears, my eyes, my whatever that needed to be opened up so that I can find out who I am, because I was desperate. I mean, desperate things requires desperate measures. I think on the first day, that was all I did, to be honest. Second thing I actually did was I had to reflect on my past experiences, both positive and negative, that shaped me into who I am today. All right, so in these experiences you're going to reflect on, you're not just going to reflect on the positive experience, you're going to focus more on the negative experience. Yes, we are going to track down the negative experience, and this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to give you an example. For instance, let's say that you already have some goals that you have outlined to do for this year that you have not done. So this is my question to you. I want you to draw a table, a T table. Yes, on the left side of that table, write out all those goals you were supposed to do that you have not done yet. All right, on the right side of that table, for each of the goals you outlined, beside it, write out 3 reasons why you have not actualized that goal, or 4 reasons why you have not actualized that goal. Is it laziness? Is it procrastination? Is it work? Is it family? What is that thing that is stopping you from actually? Be honest to yourself, because if you're not honest to yourself, there's no way forward. Nobody's there, it's just you. That is why you have to go on this trip alone. So figure out what is the 3 main reasons why you did not do goal 1, or why you have not done goal 1. It's number 2, the second goal you're supposed to do. What is the 3 reasons why you have not done it? Write it beside the goal 2. The goal 3. What is the also 3 reasons why you have not done it? Write it beside the goal 3. What I now want you to do is to go look at those reasons for each of those goals. Circle the most similar reason that appeared in the 3 parts. You know how you have goal 1, what made you not to do that goal 1, or why you haven't done it yet is because of laziness or procrastination. Goal 2, the same laziness and procrastination. Goal 3, the same. So that's the one that appeared in the three goals, in the 3 reasons. That is the one you're going to circle and you're going to work on. All right, now let's assume that you've circled this and you have kept it one place. The next thing you're going to do is to revisit those goals you have set for yourself. The goals you set for yourself, did you just say I want to achieve this? For instance, let's say now the goal I set for myself is to earn or to get a project management certificate. The next thing that you ought to do is to first of all find out, why do you want to get this project management certificate? Why What are the benefits that comes with getting this project management certificate? What are the earnings of a project manager? Which project manager am I following on LinkedIn that I like his post, or I like the way he does his things? Which project manager am I following on YouTube that I get to see what the day of a project manager is like? What they earn? What are the common mistakes project managers do? You have to create the benefit of actually actualizing that goal, because when you have a mental picture, it helps to actually grow your convictions. Yes, and your conviction is what grows or is what fuels your commitment. But if you don't have a mental picture of why you need to achieve this particular goal, you will not be committed to it. That is what I got to figure out. But if you have a mental picture of why you need to achieve this goal, answer all the questions that needs to be answered, like the benefit of actualizing that goal, what comes with it, what would your life look like when you achieve this goal, how will you feel when you achieve this goal, in the next 2 or 3 years, will this goal be part of your long-term plans? Do you understand? So you need to see beyond setting out those goals. You need to write out why. You need to understand the reason you have set that goal. You need to dig deeper. You need to absorb the revelation that comes with the benefits of achieving that goal. Because if you're able to create a mental picture of it, that conviction is what will fuel your commitment, that would enable you to actually stop procrastinating. While you have done this, you're not going to go back to that thing you have circled and then figure out, how do I deal with this? You know that this thing would not enable you to achieve this picture you have in your head. That is why you need to create a mental picture. All right? Create a mental picture of all of these things. It will help to drive you into serious commitment, because if you know this, you'll be able to get the work done. Repetition is what causes conviction. So by the time you have a mental picture of all these things written down, look at it every single day. Trust me, your subconscious mind is already picking that whatever you're doing today needs to feel the things you have laid out for yourself. You need to write it down. A goal that is not written down is only a wish. All right? So once you've written all these things down, you can track your negative, create a mental picture, because everything begins with your mindset. Your mindset is what fuels everything. If your mindset is not right, you cannot do anything right. Your mindset is what defines your destination. I always say it every single time. So if you're able to create a mental picture, that mental picture is what gives you the drive to keep pushing, to keep going, and to keep moving forward. I remember, I'm sorry if this is taking so much time, but I remember talking to a friend of mine, and she said that she's not able to follow her goals because she's discouraged about her not seeing the results she had aimed for. And I told her, look at me, I'm a YouTuber, and the goal is to have 100,000 subscribers. I barely even have 200 subscribers. Have I killed myself? No. But the truth about it is that beyond the bigger picture, there is a journey we need to undergo, and that journey is what builds you. It's what prunes you, that would now enable you to sustain that height you want to attain. For instance, medical doctors, they don't just become medical doctors over time. They have to go through medical school. They have to pay the price that would enable them obtain the result they want, so that they can reproduce their results over and over again. And that is what happens to us. To achieve that bigger picture, there is a journey. So you have to be patient enough to undergo that journey, because in that journey, you're learning some skills. For instance, in my journey, I'm learning skills like consistency, like being able to talk to people, being so many things you're going to learn while you're still pursuing that big picture. But if your focus is only that big picture, you will not learn those tiny things in that journey that you can learn, that would enable you to now become, that would sustain you when you achieve that bigger picture. So think about all these things I have said, all right? I don't want to, I've gone so much deep in this particular. One thing I want you to figure out is your strength and your weakness, because that is also what you need to improve. Because it's also in figuring out your strength and weakness, you're able to find out who you are. John Donald said that every problem introduces one to a new part of himself. So you need to figure out your strength and your weakness. So in figuring out your strength, this is what I did. I asked myself, why do I love myself? Yes, Chinelo, I'm Chinelo. I asked Chinelo, why do you love yourself? I had to write down why I love myself, and that is what I termed my strength. Then I had to ask myself the vice versa. Why do I not love myself? And I wrote down the things why I do not love myself, and I identified it as my weakness. All right. So in one of those things I picked was I do not love myself because I stutter, and me stuttering would affect the plans I have for myself. But what did I do? Because I now know the problem, I was able to figure out how to control it. Since I know I stutter, what do? I pick my words. I try not to rush very fast. Sometimes I forget, but I am more intentional than I was when I didn't even know that was a problem. You understand? So you need to write out why you love yourself and why you do not love yourself. That part of why you do not love yourself is what you need to start working on. One at a time. Don't do a lot at the same time. One at a time. Do not do a lot at the same time. You will get overwhelmed. Okay? The third thing I want you to work on is, what have your parents reprimanded you about in the past, or what have your friends reprimanded you about in the past? Not one person, not two people, not three people, but a lot of people have told you about this particular trait that you need to change. Hey sis, whether you like it or not, you need to change that trait. It took me a while for me to even accept this particular number 3. I'm like, they don't know it, but I know it. But the truth about it is that we don't see ourselves all the time. People tell us what we need to improve. So if your parents have reprimanded you about something and your friends have said the same thing, not one person, not two people, not 3 persons, then you need to work on that trait. The fourth thing I want you to work on is, I want you to reflect on how you have reacted to some certain situations or people. You know how certain things happened and you reacted to it in a certain way. I want you to go back and to reflect all the reactions you have in the past, or the ones you can remember. Did you think you reacted in the best possible way, or do you think you could have done a different reaction? You could have exhibited a different reaction. So if you know that the way you reacted to this thing did not seem right, you need to figure out what to do next time in case this situation comes up. Because when you have a plan beforehand, you're able to, when whatever comes up, you're able to tackle it even better. So that is why you need to go back and reflect on, what do I need to work on? What reaction? How did I react to this relationship? How did I react to this heartbreak? How did I react to this work, whatever? How did I react to this, Figure it out. And think about, if your reactions were good, that's fine. If you think they were not good, there are certain reactions that you regret today. Go back and figure out how to do better on that particular incident, so that when it comes up, you're able to overcome it. All right. Ask yourself, what are the recurring patterns that you have noticed in your life? Yes, what are the recurring patterns that you have noticed? What are your greatest achievements, your greatest failures, the things that you've done that you know that you actually gave it a shot but it did not work? You know that maybe if you try this way, or if you do more research, it would actually work. So go back and fix that thing. Don't give up on anything. Every man that has succeeded once failed 7 times, or even less, or even more. So don't give up on that thing that you failed at. Give it a shot, give it a try one again. Is it a course? Go and study and do that course again. Is it whatever work? Go and learn necessary skills and take on that, and go on that, or take on that job or something. That is why I said you should go back and revisit your failure and see what went wrong. Give it a shot again, but this time around, go prepared. All right. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that other people can get to see this video, as well as get to figure out what they need to improve. It's a little way of helping humanity. So before I leave your face, one thing, in the spirit of consistency, like I did in my last video, I said I was going to be posting the course I enrolled for on Coursera. But unfortunately, I couldn't those courses this week because Coursera actually couldn't access, or the team couldn't access my account, so they ended my subscription for that year. The free subscription, they ended it because they couldn't access my bank card. And I don't know why, because my card, I don't know why they couldn't access my card. I'm still trying to rectify it, or even try to see if I can use a PayPal, whatever. But I'm in Nigeria, so trying to open my PayPal has been a bit difficult for me, but I will work on it. Okay, so that's why I couldn't do my project management course. This is the message they sent to me. And also, secondly, I couldn't post this video last weekend because I was really unwell. I was stressed and I wasn't feeling so good. And I shot a video, but I looked really terrible, and I knew that it's not going to be so nice. I wasn't feeling fine. That's why I didn't post the video over the weekend. And lastly, you will notice that I removed the video I uploaded last week, and that is because YouTube said it's copyright. I don't know what is copyright about the video I shot on my own by myself, but I think what they meant was the music or the graphics I used in the editing was what brought about the copyright thing. That is why I deleted that video. But I might reshoot that video, or I might edit it again. I don't know, depends on how I feel, and I would update it again. Anyways, do have an amazing weekend and see you in my next video. All right, guys, bye.